guys, how's it going? Caitlin here, and welcome to my kitchen for another week of meal prep. I hope you're excited for the week ahead. We've got on the menu, we have pan roasted chicken, chicken Alfredo, and breakfast rice bowls. So if that sounds good to you, sounds good to me. Let's grab your prep list. If you're looking for your prep list, check the description for this video. You'll find links to grab your prep list. Comes with your grocery list, all of the things. Bring it all back here, and then we can do some prepping together, because prep is more fun with a friend, right? So I have 3 varying levels of prep in there, depending on your level of motivation. If you do want to get the time to table results that you see in the meal plan, you're gonna want to go all the way with me to level 3. Okay, let's go. All right, gonna start actually with one thing in level 3. You might want to start with 2 things in level 3, depending on what you are doing personally. I'm gonna make some rice. I know, exciting times, right? But you see, like, making rice, it's something that's gonna do itself while I'm doing other things. Maybe you don't like to do your rice beforehand, in which case, don't worry about it. You don't have to. I'm just using the bottom of my container, so I'm not really sure how much I have in there. What do I got? 1.5 cups. Cool. Just gonna give this a very quick little rinse. Very quick little rinse. I'm cooking my rice in the microwave. You could cook yours any way you feel like it. Maybe use a pressure cooker. Maybe you use a microwave too. Maybe use a stovetop. Maybe use minute rice. Awesome. All the power to you. Cool. So, get my rice in there, just gonna get that started. So I got a rice cooker. It has a boil over guard, so it's super handy for making things like rice in. Very no hands, no effort. Hands off cooking. That's what I meant to say. Okay, now if you are serving with your breakfast bowls, if you're doing optional bacon or sausage, you can choose to cook that up now if you wanted to. However, that's just an option. You do not have to do that. And I'm going to, personally, I'm having sausage, and we're going to do that a little bit later. So I'm not doing it right now. See, I can take options too, and shortcuts. You can always take shortcuts. You'll see some things in here we're gonna throw out some broccoli. The floppiest broccoli like that I think I've ever bought. I ordered it for pickup, and it's like doing the wave instantly. Whatever, it'll be fine. My kids will complain about it equally, whether it's floppy or crisp. So I'm gonna fluoride it first. I am gonna set aside the broccoli stem though, because I plan on using that as well, because even though my kids won't eat broccoli, I think it's important for them to see that it is on their plate and that I eat broccoli and I like broccoli, and then I force them to just try a bite. That's it. Gonna try a bite. I don't care if they lick it and then freak out. It's fine. Don't care. I'm not gonna take it personally. But I think it's important for them to see that it's served, and it's still going to be served, even if they say no and cry about it every time. That's okay. Someday, I keep telling myself, the good habits will pay off. But the broccoli stem, that's where I get my little win in. I don't mind if they have their little win with the broccoli of saying no, and eventually mom's like, well, just take a bite, and they don't eat it. Yeah, that's fine. They get their win. The broccoli stem is where I get my win. Oh, and a slice of pepper and then dice of pepper. Slice and then dice. Yes, doing all of the things. Okay. So, a broccoli stem has pretty much the same nutrients that you're getting in the broccoli florets itself, which makes sense. You think about it, like plant world, right? Like what's the stem doing? It's carrying nutrients to the florets. So you're just getting the same nutrients, you're just getting them like in transit. But you don't get the telltale dark green color that you get from the broccoli. So if you want your kids to have the nutrients that you get in broccoli, while also realizing they're not going to eat the broccoli florets like you do, you can utilize your broccoli stems, okay? Then you get a win, because I mean broccoli's good. I like broccoli. And they get a win, everybody wins. So you can't just never serve green vegetables again because you have children. Even if you don't like green vegetables and that sounds like kind of a good idea to you, it's not really a good idea. You want those. Now we're going to dice the pepper. Colors and vegetables. Colors and vegetables, it's like nature's version of nutrition for dummies. Not that I'm calling anybody a dummy, but if you can just look and see a variety of colors, that means you're getting a variety of different nutrients. So the more varied and colorful your diet is, the more variety and nutrients you're getting. So if you're aiming for vegetables, you want to make sure that you're getting ones that are in a different color. That's why we're so drawn to color. That's why I say it's nutrition for dummies. That's why we're so drawn to colors. Like every human loves a rainbow. Don't care who you are, every human loves a freaking rainbow. Plus, the more color you get, the prettier it all looks on your plate too, right? And you do actually eat with your eyes before you actually, you know, put it in your mouth. You eat with your eyes first. And it's not your imagination. When you look at food and you're like, wow, that food looks good, or that food smells good, like you're actually eating with all of your senses. When you see something that looks good, you smell something that smells good, what do you start doing? You start like salivating, right? And that's getting your body prepared to digest your food. Because digestion actually starts with the enzymes that are in your mouth and it continues on, right? So, lots of colors, pretty things. Make your plate look nice. Treat yourself nicely. Meal planning itself is an example of treating yourself nicely. This is something kind that you are doing for yourself. This is something kind you're doing not just for your body and for your family, for prepping and nourishing with healthy food. It's good for you mentally. Reduces stress. You get to spend more time doing fun things when you're just putting your meal prep into one bag. Pack into one like 30, 40 minutes. Okay. Another thing done. Just slice the onion. Time to cry together. When did we have a good cry together last? Was it like a week ago already? Maybe 3 days, who knows? Because meal plans, we do only prep for 3 days. And the reason for that is that it allows a little bit of flexibility. Because if one of the days you end up, say on day 2, you're like, oh, we got invited out to dinner, let's go. You're not going to be like, oh crap, I have food that's going to go bad in the fridge. No, your food will be fine tomorrow. So it gives you, 3 days really gives you 4 days. Because you have the chance where you're like, oh, well, day 4, what do you do? Leftovers. You didn't go to eat somewhere or didn't do something on the other days? Do leftovers. It's great. You know you're going to have some leftover. That's awesome. But you don't want to have so much food prepped that it's going to go bad on you in the fridge or that you have that worry. So that's why I go 3 days. What do you do for days, onion sliced, for days like 4, 5, 6, 7? I do recommend a leftover day. Leftover day is nice. But then check the other meal plans. Like, check another meal plan. Print that off. Do that. Find one that looks good to you. Use you'll see on the website there's a past recipe lookup, right? Use that. Lean into that. We're gonna peel and chop up the broccoli stems so we can use them. What you want to do is you want to get anything that's kind of tough on the exterior off. So I just use a vegetable peeler and get to that sort of a softer core, so you're not going to have any weird textures. Cut off the very end of it, which can get a little woody. I mean, I just think it's pretty cool to use a stem. Like, this is something that probably like 90% of people are just throwing out, right? Not bothering with. It's this nutrient treasure trove, so why not use it, right? Okay. So if you have like mad knife skills, you can chop this right up. If you have a food chopper, you can use a food chopper. I'm going to use a food processor. If you haven't met my favorite food processor yet, it's called the electric twist and chop, and the blade goes up and down, so it makes for really, really, really easy work. Prepping things kind of does it in like double time. Instead of getting over processed at the bottom and under processed at the top, it does it all pretty equally. It's just lovely. So you can do that as finely or as largely as you want. I want to do mine fine. And why? Because I really don't want my kids to taste it. I am just going to throw it in here. I'm going to throw it in here with the onion because it's all going in the same thing. All going in the same thing anyway, so I'm just going to dump it in there. Because I really am, I'm just hiding that broccoli for my kids. But look at this, they're getting all those broccoli nutrients. I'm not gonna know it. Mom wins. We need a win every now and then, guys. We need a win. Some weeks more than others. Okay. Here we go. If that's all the gas you have in your tank, you rocked it, you did awesome, you completed level 1, you've got some veggies prepped. That's just going to make your weeks a little bit easier, isn't it? If you want to go with me to level 2 is all optional things. Maybe you already have pre-grated Parmesan cheese, maybe you have pre-grated cheese. I do suggest grating your own cheese if you care to, for 2 reasons. Firstly, it's a money saver. You do pay less for your cheese if you don't mind grating it yourself, all right? Second reason is there's less ingredients. Less ingredients means better for you, generally, as a rule of thumb. If you've ever noticed that when you're grating your own cheese, it can have a tendency to stick together. They want to avoid that when they're getting pre-grated cheese because they're trying to make things more convenient, right? But to do that, they have to add extra ingredients in order for it to not stick together. If you're trying to eat a little more basic and cut out additives, then grating your own cheese is a very, very quick way to do that. I guess there's a third reason too. You get more variety of choices. There aren't as many choices if you are getting pre-grated cheese. That's why I stand by this. Easy enough to do. However, we all take shortcuts. I don't care who you are. Not everybody is doing everything from scratch. There is some point where we're getting somebody to do our something for us. We are not planting it all. We are not harvesting it all or processing it all. So no matter what you do or how much you think you're doing it all, you're not doing it all, and that's okay. Nobody can. That's why people are not actually solitary creatures, right? Cool. Gonna grate up some Parmesan as well, or as my kids like to call it, stinky cheese. They love their stinky cheese. So you can get pre-grated Parmesan as well. That's fine. It's cool. However, if you do buy a block of it, it looks really expensive, but it lasts for a long time. It really does. Even with 3 kids and a husband that all demolish stinky cheese, it still lasts a good solid while. Okay, and we are pretty much right down to the rind there. There's not much more that's coming off of that. Now, if you want to, you can actually save the rind as well. You can use it for, throw it in some soups if you want to throw it in soup, make some extra flavor. And for my people who are just lactose free rather than dairy free, Parmesan is naturally lactose free. So don't buy lactose free Parmesan, it just is. Because it's an aged, any of the really aged cheeses are going to be naturally lactose free. I know, aging I guess takes the lactose out of it. So, gonna make, also optional, for the breakfast bowls, for a topping for a sauce, you can make a sriracha mayo, you can buy a sriracha mayo, you can just throw hot sauce on there if you're feeling it, whatever. I'm making a zesty sauce to go on it, which is just really easy. Just get some oil, half a lime, which I happen to have half a lime in the fridge, or you can just use some lime juice, whatever works. I do find fresh lime is way better than a bottled lime juice, so for me it's one of those things that's kind of worth it. I just love the smell of it. I love the smell of fresh lime. I love everything to do with it. Okay. Throw a little salt and pepper in there. And just a little splash of maple syrup. And there we are. That's good. Okay. Day of, if the oil hardens up, it's fine. So if the oil hardens up, that's fine. You can just take it out. You can put it in the microwave for a couple seconds. Not gonna hurt it. But yeah, we're done level 2. Like, we're just rolling through all this. We only have to deal with chicken. So I'm gonna grab the chicken. Literally, the very last thing we need to do, because my rice, it's sitting for 10 minutes, then just gonna fluff it, that's it. Let's see. I'm gonna do some slicing. I'm gonna do some butterflying. Okay, so I'm gonna butterfly 3 of these for the pan roasting, and then I am going to slice 2 for the chicken Alfredo. And the reason why I'm doing this last, obviously, is because it's going to be nasty. I don't like playing with raw meat. I really do not enjoy it. It is not my happy place. However, I do see the benefits because I eat it, so that's a good thing. Get food out of the whole deal, and you get food out of the deal. One cannot complain too much. But I just wish I didn't have to, touch it and do things with it. So I'm gonna start just by doing some butterflying, since I'm doing 3 of those. You can slice first, you can butterfly first, whatever. Make it your own. So this contraption I'm using for butterflying, because you can buy your meat butterflied already, or split into butterfly style. I don't know what you call it. It's split, it's butterflied. I'm using the wrong word. Meh, whatever. I'm at peace with that too. I'm not gonna put that one there. I'm using this, it's called a close and cut. So it will keep me, it's spring loaded so that it ends up equal sizes, equal thicknesses on each side, but it cuts it in half very, very, very safely. Make sure that I don't have any oops incidents while I'm slicing my chicken. So there's all my chicken ready to be pan roasted, which I like the pan roasted recipe. One of the reasons why I like it, my kids do not like, they like plain things. They really, really, really like just plain things. Now with this one, you cook the chicken plain and then you make a pan sauce. So it works for everyone involved here, because before I add the pan sauce, I can just take their chicken out. So they have plain chicken, I have chicken with personality, and everybody's happy. Now, slicing chicken, they recommend you slice it against the grain. I don't know what that is. I look at chicken, I don't see grains. I just see nasty, nasty raw meat. So I try to look at it as little as possible and just do its thing. But if you want to look and examine grains and cut it that way, you'll probably get even better results than I do. I'm not a chef, guys. But you know what? Even if you're not a chef, still gotta eat. Turns out there's no way around that. Even like the sound that it makes when you pick it up. Okay, there we go. Chicken is all sliced. Rice is 4 minutes away from being fluffed, and we're ready, guys. If you would like to check your fridge, now's a good time to. Actually, before we chopped up the chicken was a great time. Check your fridge, see if there's anything there that needs to be used up. If you need to use something up, see if you can incorporate it into a side dish or into one of the meals this week. I think you could probably hide some things either in a side dish with the pan roasted chicken, or sneak it into the breakfast bowls or the chicken Alfredo. You can always add more veg in there. So see what you can do with that. Process it now. If you can't use it this week, process it anyway and put it in the freezer. Make sure to put it in a bag with a date and what it is, so it doesn't just get lost in the freezer for forever, but it'll save you time in the future, also save you money on your groceries. And until next week, you guys, thank you so much, and really thank you. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.